Well, today's topic is why we behave the way we behave. What is the reason that we take a pathway that we want to behave in a certain way? Why do we want to be like that? The reason we're going to discuss in this exercise. There are a few questions we're going to discuss in this exercise, and they're going to be a little bit critical on yourself, on myself. They have been, obviously. So we have to be rational, but very practical on that. Not critical on others, but critical on ourselves. For this, the reason is that are most people actually thinking, or are they just repeating what society programmed them into? When I'm saying most people, are they doing the same thing? I'm talking to you. Is it the reason that people do the same thing what they are doing because the society has told them, or you have your own choice? What I think is what you want to hear is that you have your own choice. But 100%, no 99%, 100%, it's done what society has told you. So society has been telling you since the time you were born. Since the time you were born, society has been telling you, okay, this is what your reality is from your name. This is what your name is. This is what your title will be. This is what you have to think. Your society includes your birth parents, their parents, how they've been raised, and their grandparents and grandparents, how they have been raised. So, all these things contribute to your thought process. Whatever you are thinking right now about me, even that is about the way you have been brought up, the things you have done today, even people you have met today, even everything counts. So, you have to understand whatever you're going to do, whatever you're going to think of, anything depends on the societal norms that have been instilled in you. These things have been instilled in you for a reason. Okay. Now, many beliefs are inherited, not independently examined, because why we say inherited? They're in your genes. Some of them are in your genes, some of them are inherited by your local system. But it's never up to you to decide these things. It is never up to you to decide these things. You think you have made a choice, but it was never your decision. You can think whatever you want to think. Okay, I make my own choices, but you never do. You can never, even in the near future, in the far fetched future, no one does. Even the president doesn't. Even they cannot, even if they wish to, because they are influenced by the surroundings and by other people. The next question: do humans hate corruption or only hate not benefiting from it? What if you ask my belief system, I will say because when we stop benefiting from the corruption, we stop supporting it, because we want to criticize other people who are at a higher position because of that corruption. And sometimes it's not corruption, sometimes they have used the system in a way where they can benefit from it, and we start just contemplating it in a way that they are doing corruption. So who are we to judge that? That means we are mean. We ourselves are mean. We were born mean because we can't see other people succeed and not ourselves being succeeded by the same system. And if we benefit from the same system, then we will say that no, it is not the system, it is you. So we are very mean. We are having a dual personality all the way down through the history. So it's ourselves. We have to blame ourselves, but we cannot, even if we wish to. Whatever I tell you, whatever you decide, you cannot change. We can only feel right now in emotions. Okay, some of you will say, okay, maybe you are right, we are wrong, or we have to change ourselves, but you cannot change. You will be thinking of that. The changing process is a very hard process. It's not easy. If someone tells you, oh, let's give you 5 steps to do that, they are bullshitting. They are properly bullshitting. They are not doing anything proper. So you have to understand the reality of human nature first. Once you understand the reality, then you can easily manipulate yourself. What I'm saying is, you can easily manipulate yourself. You cannot change yourself without manipulating yourself. Unfortunate reality, but that's the reality we are living in. You have to manipulate and contemplate that manipulation with yourself. You have to be satisfied in a way that, okay, I am manipulating myself, but for my own better, For my own benefit, I'm manipulating myself. But you cannot be very straightforward and changing yourself. No, it is going to be a very, very hard and harsh process on you, not on something else. Now, next part. Why do people demand honesty but punish those who tell uncomfortable truths? Because our psychology has been designed in a way we don't want uncomfortable truths. We cannot justify the truths. We cannot justify the norms. We have to stay away from the realities. We cannot we cannot ever say to someone, okay, you are telling the truth. Let's be fair. You can tell me the truth and I won't be hurt. Anyone tells us the unfortunate truth and we will be hurt. So what happens? We prefer to hear the lies in our lives. We prefer to hear the lies. Those lies, you have to understand, those lies are made for our internal falsified happiness. Those lies are made for our internal falsified happiness. Those are not the actual truths. But again, to respect that nature of ours, that we are having a falsified nature, we are having a dual nature, we are having a ditching nature to ourselves, it takes a huge heart. And you and me don't have it. Because now the reaction will be, who are you to tell me that you don't have it or I don't have it? Because humans cannot do that. We are not monks. Even monks can't do that. I have read books on monks as well and books by monks. They teach you how to do that, but they will never tell you that they have achieved that path 100%. Otherwise, they will be a Buddha. So they cannot even achieve that. Even monks cannot achieve the pathway of 100% purity. So who am I and you to do that or to claim that? But we will still claim that. Let's move forward. So, the next part. Are humans naturally good or simply controlled by consequences? Yes, we are controlled by behaviors and risk and rewards, and especially the results. What result I'm going to get after this step? We are only controlled by the rewards. We cannot do actions without thinking of a reward or the final result. So we are controlled by the end result. Whatever someone says to us, okay, this is the result you're going to get after this. That is the thing that will define our reactions, actions, and current state of mind. So, what we will do? We will start thinking, okay, let me behave in a certain way so I will benefit from that reward. Even that behave is positive or negative does not matter. Let me behave and act in a way where I can satisfy the appreciation of other people that will result in a certain reward. So we always run after reward. There is a saying of carrot and stick. That stick is making us run after a reward. So there is always a stick, and that is the reward as well. The stick and the reward is the same thing, but people mix it because we love to justify ourselves. We want to justify ourselves. You cannot say anything but the falsified nature of yourself. You have to tell the lies to yourself. What else you gonna do? What else you can say? You can blame someone, you can abuse someone just because you don't agree with them or they're hurting your ego. Ego is another part of us. We will talk about that later. So, now, next part. Why do people criticize attention seeking while secretly craving attention themselves? Because this is our psychological addiction. Humans have an addiction of validation. When other people start getting the validation or they start seeking the attention from others, we start saying that, oh, he's an seeker, she's an attention seeker. Why do we say that? Because we ourselves are attention seekers, and when we are not at that level, we cannot attain that level of attention or maintain that level of attention from others. We start blaming others, we start mirroring the same jealousy that is within us, we start putting on others. That's our nature. This is the worst property of human nature, jealousy, jealousy factor. We have inside us, we want the same validation from others. We want the same attention from others. But when others people behave in the same way, they are mirroring us actually. When other people are mirroring us actually, We hate that. That means we don't like to see us. We will hate ourselves if we see ourselves in reality in a mirror. That having said that, we will hate ourselves if we see ourselves in the mirror. So you can imagine that how bad human nature is, that we will start hating ourselves. We will start hating ourselves if we start looking at ourselves in reality. Because when we blame others, when we see others getting the or becoming attention seeker, what happens? What happens there? Actually, we are telling them, don't do it because I was not successful in doing that. How dare you do that? That's the unfortunate reality. So, the next question: do people truly care about justice or only when they become the victim? It's always about the personal pain. When we are talking about justice, what happens? If we are feeling the pain of someone else, we think that justice should be there. If we are not feeling the pain, then we don't bother about the situation, even the worst situation. Why? That is the reason, because it's all about us. If we are feeling it, so the wrong and right, the justice, injustice is all surrounding us. Again, humans are so self centered. They will define justice based on their likeness and unlikeness, their feelings, their empathy, the level of empathy they have. That means if I feel pain for you, I will say, oh, they should be justified or they should be given justice. They are in that situation where I feel pain. But if I don't feel pain for you, what will happen? I will ignore that even if you're in need of a best justice position or you deserve justice at the highest level of justice. Still, it doesn't matter. I will not be able to contemplate that level of justice because I don't like it. I don't want it. I don't feel it. So it's all about me eventually. Means it's about you always. Whatever you say, I follow the pathway. No, I respect others. No, you don't respect anyone. You respect only yourself. You respect your benefits. So anything that you do is going to be surrounding your mental capacity. So that is why it all comes down to your upbringing, your social strata, your mental intellectual capacity, the way you have been knowledgeable or raised in a way that defines that. Your level of justice, your level of empathy, your level of sympathy is only defined by the way you have been raised and given knowledge and your intellectual capacity. It was defined by your capacity, nothing. The social strata doesn't define that. So, the next question: why do humans worship confidence even when it comes from ignorance? Because we like artificial intelligence. Right now, even in today's era, the era is artificial intelligence. What are we doing? We are justifying a machine. We are justifying a machine, even though it's artificial. It is created by humans. It is controlled by humans. The way we're saying it, the father of artificial intelligence is a human. So even then, we know that it is controlled by humans. It is going to be answered by humans. It is going to be questioned by humans. It is going to be fortified by humans. Still, we are trying to justify it is better than us. Why? Because we love the confidence it is portraying. AI is portraying a confidence. Similarly, when we see the same confidence, a falsified confidence in humans, what happens? We like it. We love it. Because just like AI, artificial intelligence is portraying a false intelligence, a false confidence. We love that confidence in artificial intelligence. Even the father is a human. Still, similarly, the artificial intelligence portraying a false confidence because it is given by humans. So we love it. We are appraising the AI systems right now to the extreme level. And we are so much mesmerized by that. Still not thinking that the father of AI is a human. It is controlled by human. It is given by human. All the knowledge to AI is given by human. Still, we are foolish enough to understand, oh, AI is better than humans. Yes, because we are letting it be. Similarly, when we see a false confidence, We love it because we know that someone is portraying a false confidence. Still we say no, that's a very intellectual person, even though we know that in our instinct. One of my videos I always say that confidence, when we see someone, if it's a false confidence or a real confidence, we can judge it, but our mind don't judge it. It cannot differentiate between the false confidence or the real confidence. What defines or tell us if it's a real confidence or false confidence is our inner instinct. That's a different thing in our soul, in our body. The inner part of our body that tells the difference between a real confidence and false confidence is not the brain, it's our instincts that tell us. But unfortunately, we will always praise confidence, either it is just retrospectively, it is real or falsified. The next part: are most social relationships genuine or transactional? I believe we all know the answer. So, the many relationships survive because through the benefit of mutual benefit, through the benefit of mutual benefit. We love to see that okay, this is my blood relation, and I've been there as well in those relations where I've trusted all of my blood relations to my heart and core. But eventually, either some part of us will come to a level where we see the benefit of ourselves, not the benefit of others, benefit of ourselves. This is human nature. Again, if you don't understand or trust that or don't agree with me, doesn't matter, and it doesn't bother me even, because if you don't want to learn that, if you don't want to understand what humans are, what worse can be the situation? What's the level of downgradedness, like a downgraded level you will be at, where you don't want to understand yourself, how you will be behaving, how you want to behave, how you want to control yourself? That is only possible if you understand your own nature as a human. If you understand only your nature, you will understand everyone, because the basic nature of humans are same. All of them smile, all of them cry, all of them feel sad, all of them get angry, all of them have empathy or sympathy at some level. Each of them has their own. But if you understand that part within you, you will understand everyone. And the worst part is we try to understand others. We don't have to understand others, all we have to do is understand ourselves, because everyone is human and everything is same within us. We have been brought up in different capacities only. So if we understand ourselves, you just fortify yourself for some time, and then you start reading yourself, you will be amazed that you will start automatically understanding others. That's the magic of understanding yourself. So stop blaming others, start blaming you. You will learn the magic of human nature, and you don't have to understand anyone else. Just love yourself, understand yourself, read yourself, read your emotions. I can still try to read myself, but I will never be able to contemplate in a way where I say that okay, I know myself. I can't control my emotions even. I'm being honest, but I know that. But at least I am honest to understand, and I'm respecting that part, that I admit that part. But you won't be able to have you won't be having the courage to do that even. You will start blaming others always. So next part: do humans really want freedom of thought or permission to follow the crowd safely? I think that's a critical question, especially in the era of social media, because we don't want independent voice. We want to follow the crowd because we want safety. And safety is one of the main part where it comes to a level where we don't want to say anything. We don't want to say anything to hurt anyone. I will be very careful. Even in live situations, even in recorded sessions, I will be making sure that I will be criticizing things wherever I want to a certain level so I don't hurt anyone. I want to play safe. That's human nature. I can't stop myself from that because, again, I am following the reward system. I'm following the result system. What will be the outcome of that? I'm scared of that. That is why, even though I know a lot of emotional pattern of humans, I will still not say that because it can hurt you, your feelings, or someone else's feelings. I don't want to hurt you. That means I'm still hiding the truth. I'm still being unfair here with you, even myself. So we want to play safe. So the way to say that, okay, do we want to say in things in a way where we want to feel safe and follow a crowd? Yes, we will always follow the crowd. We will always follow the crowd. We will not be at a level where we don't follow the crowd and not see the result. First, before doing anything, if as a human being, a normal human being, what we do is our brain already contemplates that, okay, what will be the result of this line, what I'm going to say? What will be the result of this podcast, or this topic, or this line, what I'm uttering right now? Will it affect us in a positive way or me? First, I will think about me. Then I will think about you. That is the reason I'm saying humans are mean. So it's not something bad to say that we are mean, but this is the nature we have. If we are built like that, if a machine is built like that, how can you change it? You can either destroy it, but you can't change it. You cannot do anything the way we were born. So hopefully that makes sense to you, that you have to understand there are certain patterns and levels of human nature, that you have to follow a pattern. Now, the next part. Are humans truly rational or just emotional creatures pretending to be logical? I think most of our decisions are emotional, and I believe so. Not, I think because even in when I used to work in sales and I was a sales lead, and I always teach everyone that, okay, we sell emotions, we don't sell products, because all the humans, they make a decision for any product, any service, based on their emotions, what they're going to feel about it when they buy it, or what are they feeling in the moment about the results. That is why you have to understand, humans only follow the emotional part first, and then once we have made the emotional part, emotional decision, then we try to justify, then we justify that emotional decision with logics. We find logics, and we are very good at finding illogical logics. Trust me. Recently, I attended a seminar on the topic of logic only. The professor had a PhD on logic. So imagine, there is a whole world full of illogical logics. When we make a decision, and always we make a decision based on our emotions, and then we find logics. We find logics to justify them. That's the unfortunate reality. Now, the next part. Do people actually want truth, or only validation for what they already believe? I think we need the comfort zone as a human. We always need a comfort zone. So we need the validation. We need the validation of truth from others. We don't do anything, we don't say anything what we want. When we say anything, because we know that that will produce negative results. So we always seek validation. We always seek support from others. So there is nothing like independent truth. There is nothing like that. We try to make a false presumption of us that there is some independent truth. There is nothing like that in this whole world. Now, why are humans attracted to toxic people despite knowing the damage? A very critical question in relationships. Why we are attracted to toxic people? And we all been in these stages where we have been attracted and we stayed in those relations, and sometimes people spend their whole lives in those relations. Why? Because emotional intensity is mistaken for value to love. The reason is that emotional intensity, that we feel that, okay, this, we have an emotional connection, there will be something, and I love this person, or I love this relation. The value between emotion and the love is so entangled that we forget, or we cannot make the difference between the logics, the actual happenings in the relation, and we stay there then. And then, as human, we have a level in here. I'm just making sure that you understand that this is the part of the brain that makes the whole decision, not this. Whenever we're thinking, we start doing this, but this doesn't make any decisions. This part make the decisions. So what we do is, there are layers in our brain. Certain layers get blocked because we start feeling the emotional pattern, and emotions are so overwhelmed that we cannot make a rational decision after that. We stay in the same relation because we don't see the value and the emotional impact. We are so entangled in that, so we are having to make ourselves believe that, okay, staying in that relation will bring the best of it. So we justify again the emotions with logic. In fact, we justify emotions with illogical logic, and we stay in those hurtful relations, and we cannot do anything. Again, the most I have seen, in fact, myself, and the most intellectual people going in that way, staying in that way. in relations. No one can justify and say that, oh, I'm a very logical and straightforward person. Trust me, I have seen the most logical, ruthless people in personalities staying and getting destroyed in that way. So we cannot do anything. And I believe it's all about nature and luck sometime. But intentional effort can teach you these things. But that intentional effort is going to be very hard. A normal person cannot justify that. A normal person cannot do that. If you think that, if the gurus and everyone on the internet, I'm just sharing you my experiences, I'm not telling you that I'm a guru here. So if any guru tell you that, okay, it's these 5 steps, these 10 steps will teach you this, no, hell that. That's bloody shit thing. Anyone tells you, that's going to be hard steps in life. No 1 2 3 4 steps. It's going to be huge hell of a hardship on yourself. Only then you can change. You always have to pay a price for that, to change yourself and to come out of these kind of emotions. You have to pay a price for everything. And if you are not willing to pay a price for anything, I am paying a price for doing this live session. I'm sacrificing my sleep right now. It's over 12 o'clock and I've been awake since morning, since 7 o'clock in the morning, and now it's nearly going to be 18 hours and I'm half asleep. Maybe I'm just pretending to be like that, but I have to sacrifice something. I just came from gym. I had to sacrifice my comfort. So I said, okay, let me have a shower. Then I wasted the time. I didn't take a shower after gym now, and I just straight away sat down in front of you. So I thought I should do what I like best, means coming live. So I sacrificed that part, one part, to come here. So whatever, even the smallest thing, I gave you this funny example or this rubbish example, what you can say, just to teach you that whatever you do in the world, whatever you want to achieve in the world, you have to pay a price for that. You cannot do anything without paying a price for anything else. Whatever you do, even you get up from the bed, you are sacrificing your comfort. If you think you don't have to pay a price or you're not paying a price, then you don't know what price you have paid already. The price of your comfort, the price of your laziness, price of success or regret, you will be paying anyway. You are paying. It's just you are not aware of it. And that's your fault, not anyone else's fault. That you are paying a price and you're not paying for it. And you're not paying attention what price you are paying or you have to pay. Whose fault is it? No one is going to teach you. Only person, the best teacher is society itself on its own, not individually, on its own, surrounding you and you as a learner. And telling yourself, and you as a teacher also to yourself. That's the only way you're going to learn. Whatever you do, anyone says it's rubbish. These 10 step, 4 step, 5 step, all is rubbish. Now, are successful people disciplined or simply addicted to control? Yeah, that's a critical question. Successful people don't, I believe, they are not disciplined. They are disciplined because of a fear. They have fear inside them, the fear of failing, the fear of not achieving their goals. And that makes them disciplined. Always people, I always see podcasts, I always see events, I always go to events. Recently also I went to an event. Everyone talks about discipline. How do you get disciplined? I believe the only thing that can make you disciplined is fear. Your own fear about not achieving your own goals, that will make you disciplined. You discipline, even a lot of very senior people say that discipline is doing what you don't like or what you like when you're not liking to do it. That's rubbish for me. These are bookish definition. You have to understand, you have to be afraid of losing. All people always say you should not be afraid of anything. No, you have to be afraid of losing, and you have to be so fearful against your own fears that I cannot lose. Then you become disciplined. If you are fearful, if you get afraid, that fearness in you, that fear inside you, that will not let you sleep. Only then you become disciplined. If you disagree with that, you can tell me. That's your right, your point of view. I am just telling you myself with the human realities, that okay, you can be disciplined, but only by fear. You have to be afraid of your own desires. I want this thing to achieve. I want a nice body. I want to go to the gym. I want to achieve this target in business. You have to be afraid of not achieving it. Once you do that, then you become what you want. Because then that fear will make you afraid so much that you will run after it. Oh no, I don't want to lose. I don't want to become a fat person. I don't want to become an unsuccessful person. You will run after doing that. So only fear will make you disciplined, and successful people are fearful of themselves, of their own dreams. Now, why do humans admire? No, the next part is, do people help others out of kindness or hidden self interest? Always not out of kindness, self-interest, because it is their own nature to justify themselves. They start liking themselves, they start getting adrenaline rush into themselves, that okay, if I'm helping someone, I feel good. And they have a greed that people will like them, people will admire me if I help others. So they have their own intentions. Hidden intentions are there always. When people help others, they have their hidden intentions. That is the reason no one is good or bad. They always following their own intentions. Even if it's a very good person, a humble person, they still following their own intentions. They want to love themselves, they want to be liked by others. People won't say that, oh, I'm very fair, I'm very down to earth. No, you are not. You are loved by people because of this particular nature. That's why you want to continue that pattern. That's the reason. We are all selfish. Humans are built selfish. The most selfish creature on the planet is human. A animal will leave you if it's not hungry. A human will not, just because it's greedy. A animal is never greedy. Even the most dangerous tiger is not greedy. You can sit in front of the tiger. If they are filled to the stomach, they will not attack you. But the only creature that have greed in its nature is human. That will not leave you anywhere. So you have to understand this part. Hopefully, today this pattern was enough for you. But remember, you are greedy, you are selfish, you are the most negative, impactful person on the planet, along with me. But we have the other side as well. What happens is we let this side shine, the greed. That is why humans hurt others, because we can never be satisfied. We don't satisfy ourselves. We don't let it satisfy our greed. We don't let ourselves satisfied. Why? Because we are born like that. We have two capacities, good and bad, but the negative is always powerful. People always say, oh, positive is very positive, power is good. No, negative is having the most impactful effect on human nature. That is why positive takes time and more energy to prevail. And that is why it will have more good effect if you put the effort. You will if you want to stand out from the rest of them, you have to be putting more effort, and you have to fight against the evil inside you. And that is going to be very hard. If someone says you can fight evil inside you or anything, it's not possible. As I said to you, humans are the most and worst and greedy creature on earth. An animal will leave you, the worst animal, the wildest animal will leave you unharmed. If they are not hungry, they will not attack you. Or if they don't feel fear against you, they will leave you. Humans will not, just because of their greed. They don't want to fulfill any agenda. They just have greed. Greed of power, greed of likeness, fulfillness inside them. Just to satisfy them, they will hurt each other. Thank you very much for today.